had the great honor and privilege to take time to discuss artificial intelligence and national security with the Senate Select Intelligence Committee. The senators wanted to talk about artificial intelligence and national security because of the advances you're seeing in generative artificial intelligence. And so most of my conversation with the senators, both during the almost 3 hours of testimony and before and afterwards in private sessions, dealt with that very human element. And that meant that they came to me and they specifically asked for 4 ideas for legislation. And Senator King from Maine specifically asked us for the record to submit those ideas. At this point, most of my thinking about this legislation evolves around testing, evaluation, and reassurance. So a lot of the testimony were very philosophical conversations about technology, how technologies evolve, what it means for governance, and what it means for national security. And I had the honor of sitting there with a man who's won multiple Turing Awards, Jan LeCun, who is the chief AI scientist for Meta. And so a lot of the discussions were also about him as a researcher, and then me more as a practitioner who's had to implement these tools. What's happened in our modern world is that we now have computing cost at scale and storage that allow us to take advantage of these old ideas and develop entirely new modes of inquiry, entirely new modes of interacting with our world. And anytime you change the way people live and interact with the world, you by definition create the seeds of change for warfare and statecraft itself. I sincerely hope the senators took away from my remarks the importance of people, bureaucracy, and data. If you don't actually train your workforce how to work with generative AI models, you don't realign the bureaucracy to allow you to pool and analyze and protect data, and you don't safeguard the infrastructure required to constantly retrain and calibrate your models, the United States will not be an artificial intelligence superpower. For more on my testimony in this critical issue, please visit csis.org.